What's up, Divine Masculine? This your girl Queen J. And what they say, Tarot, coming to give you a quick little check-in and see what you got going on. So thanks for viewing my channel. This is a channel where we grow together. By the way, my name is Queen J, and nice to meet you. So when I first had started shuffling y'all cards and stuff like that, I channeled two different songs, but then when I had finally got into y'all video, it was like, you don't ring my line no more. Oh, oh. So maybe somebody feel like you don't ring their line no more, or vice versa. You feel like somebody don't ring your line no more. So it's like you don't know whether you should call first or they should call first. Like you can't decide. So it's like maybe it's a pride issue or some shit like that. So I had to put goddamn light the sage for one, and pull out my abundance cards to put some goddamn positive energy in the mix. We need that. So let's see what y'all got going on before I even put any of these other cards down. So let's see. Release jealousy. Jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something and the universe manifests exactly as you affirm. Let other people's successes inspire rather than frustrate you. If they can have it, so can you. So maybe some type of jealousy is starting to build up. Maybe you did it unknowingly or whatever the case may be. It's like traveling this journey ain't easy. I just heard it's like you got to find your roots. It's like, can anything survive without roots? Like anything that grows start from seeds and it eventually grows to something big. So maybe you going through a awakening right now, realizing that okay, you just as good as the next person. So it's like some things have to be sacrificed in order for you to realize that okay, you just as good as the next person. So abundance mindset. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak abundance as something you already have in the present moment, and that is what you will experience. So maybe some people ain't really treated you how you should be treated, or vice versa. Maybe you ain't treated somebody how they should have been treated, but they say walk a mile in their shoes. So if the shoe fit weird, if it's too tight, take it off. So pick your side. You get what I'm saying? So maybe you was in a position where at first you was jealous or whatever the case is, but you had to realize you just as good. You get what I'm saying? So maybe you in this process of awakening, and it's like okay, you got to eat, live, and breathe that shit. It's like if you really want to do something, you got to make it happen. It's like you got to have that mindset to think that way. uh Organized for success. So I mean, you gotta have some type of organization system. Like everything gotta be in its place. So I don't know. Maybe it's time for you to organize your things, like get rid of clutter and stuff like that, or whatever the case is. Do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. So uh everything has its place. So everything has a purpose for being in your life. So if it's some shit don't serve you, goddamn, then it gotta go. Organize your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action step. So that means once you organize your self, I gotta get myself together because I got some place to go. Yeah. So it's like you gotta organize your life. So remix my life. So maybe y'all praying and asking God to remix y'all life. Uh After going through a phase, it's like maybe you felt something make you feel some type of way. Maybe you felt some type of way because like a situation ended and you ain't really understand why, whatever the case was. I just heard maybe you outgrown the situation, or maybe somebody else outgrown the situation. So maybe you had to go within to figure out what your true powers were in order to be able to utilize it. It's like learn and train as you go. So maybe you was the person that used to watch people actually use and know their true powers. So maybe it's your turn to actually come out. You get what I'm saying? Anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fears underlying chasing energy instead of attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. So it's like you need to send out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy in order to receive what it is that you want. Anything you chase gonna go the other way. So maybe you was in a situation where you was chasing something, and the more you chase it, the more it got out of reach. You get what I'm saying? So the more you was focusing on whatever it was, person, place, or thing, it seemed like it just was like sand. It slipped straight through your fingers. Um, Conscious consumer. So you gotta realize you gotta be conscious of whatever it is that you're doing. If you asking God to remix your life, it's like you still have to be conscious of the decisions that you are making. You have the power to heal and help the world with the decisions you choose to buy only products and services that are ethical and environmentally friendly. As a conscious consumer, you choose to invest in fair trade and organic goods. You live simply and you purchase only that which you need. So it's like maybe you will buy shit that you ain't really need like that. So now you in a phase of like actually being more conscious of the things that you spending money on, so you can actually save money for a rainy day, like they used to say back in the day. Save money for a rainy day. So maybe you trying to get rid of old habits or whatever the case is to actually try to figure out what it is you need to do now in this present moment. So it's like in order for you to actually realize some shit, you gotta be awake and conscious, woke being in this world. So detox your friendships. So maybe it's time for y'all to detox some of y'all friendships. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you spending time. So be discreet about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. So that means you gotta be around people that's it's for your highest good. It's like if they don't meet the cut, they ain't inspiring, generous, and supportive, you gotta go. Um Words of abundance. You have the ability to, excuse me, you have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you will attract for yourself and others. So, basically speaking negative, thinking negative, you gotta reverse that shit. It's like you got to speak highly of yourself. You know, you when you used to people just, speaking down on your name, I just heard. So when you used to people, treating you like you ain't for the cause and shit, it's like, okay, sometimes you got the come and hype me up. Yeah. Come hype me up. Yeah. Come and hype me up. So it's like you gotta hype your damn self up. So maybe you got there was the star of the show to come and hype everybody else up. And it's like you gotta put that energy back into yourself, because that's where it starts. Shit, you ain't shit if you can't goddamn uh take care of yourself, don't really know your self worth, or you ain't really loving on yourself as much as you trying to do and give to others. Like you still got to be able to put into yourself regardless of what's going on. It's like when things don't work out, so maybe somebody was focused on money, a female, but it's just prioritizing, putting everything in its place. Like everything has a place. Let's see. So maybe it's time for you to look into inside yourself, like listening to your intuition, getting to the root of the problem, like I was telling you. So maybe it's causing you to release some maybe you was being jealous unknowingly. You get what I'm saying? So maybe things is being illuminated and you looking inside yourself. So now you really seeing the root of the problem. You get what I'm saying? So maybe it's time for maybe your spirit guides and ancestors was giving you downloads and shit like that. So now that you receiving those downloads and those intuitive messages, it's like you able to shine light on things that you really wasn't paying attention to before. So maybe you realizing that you have to use your energy wisely now. Like you just can't be giving that shit to anybody. Gotta have some organization to that shit. Let's see. man holding the coin. So maybe you realizing that you gotta organize your finances. It's like once you organize your finances and getting rid of the clutter, and it's like having a plan of what you want to do with the money. It's like money is not just put there to sit. Like that's like knowledge is not there to just sit. Like when you learn some shit, it's supposed to be put to good use. When you earn funds or whatever the case may be, it's supposed to be invested into something else, so we can be created into something bigger. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't be just looking at life one sided. It's like okay, sometimes you could put yourself in situations where the grass might not be greener on the other side, but then it's like you avoiding all the other beautiful things in life because you're only focusing on one thing. 52, 37, 43, 24. So maybe you had a lot of possibilities that you like a lot of the adjacent possibilities, a lot of opportunities that you could have took, but it's like you were so focused on a one track mind. So maybe you was just focused on one thing and it was distracting you from all the other beautiful things that you had around you. You get what I'm saying? Because you wasn't conscious at the time. So maybe y'all choosing the appreciation. It's like now you appreciating from where you came from. It's like back then they ain't want you, now they high, now that you're high they all on you. It's like you're not the same person that you used to be. You get what I'm saying? So maybe you growing and ascending, uh awakening. So maybe you going through a awakening right now. So it's like you had to appreciate yourself first. It's like all the time people ain't gonna appreciate what it is that you have to offer to a situation. So it's like shit. Um every piece that you get ain't gonna fit the puzzle. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta find a piece that fits for you. Like everybody's life is what's the scenario? Everybody's situation is different. So it just all depends. So maybe you had to choose yourself and realize that shit, okay, you woke now, so shit ain't the motherfucker same as it used to be. So maybe you had to realize that once you had to go through this phase of detoxing your friends, getting rid of people that, or person, place, or thing. It don't have to be just people, person, place, or thing. So maybe you had to get from around certain people, stop going certain places, stop doing certain things, to be able to get into this transition like you needed to. So maybe you had to detox some friends in order to have this new beginning in love. So maybe you had a lot of toxic energy around you, and it's like it's preventing you from having a new beginning in love. So maybe you had to go through some personal healing to be able to get to this phase to be happy. So it's like before you can go through a process or do anything, you have to fully comprehend what's going on. So maybe you had to go through some processes or balance out some karmic debt. You get what I'm saying? In order to get to a phase where you actually are renewed and actually can fully be happy. It's like people can smile, but the biggest smile has the most pain. Shit, you can see a motherfucker smile all goddamn day long, but that don't mean they truly happy. Some of y'all might need to get some rest to be able to rejuvenate yourself. Cause like I said, sometimes you got to put that mask on yourself. So it's like maybe you've been putting a lot of energy into a lot of other things and shit. We got to pull the boost pack out for your ass now. Let's see. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So maybe you releasing these old habits. Is like because now that you done found out what the root of the problem is, so maybe you had to release some jealousy or whatever the case is, or vice versa. The shoe fit wet. If it's too tight, take it off. Uh, because you had to look within yourself to actually see what it is that your intuition is trying to show you and tell you. Because sometimes you can get visual downloads, and sometimes you can get intuitive messages. So like when them goddamn spider senses kick off, you got to see what the shit. When the spider senses kick off, that's when that shit's a kick in. Goddamn, that's like a life insurance policy. When you kick out, it kick in. Shit. So you just got to trust the process. Soulmate. So maybe it's like you was looking at shit as being one day away, and instead of speaking shit into the existence in the now. So it's like maybe you had to have some light shined on a situation because you was putting too much energy into a situation. Soulmate. So it could have been with a soulmate. Like just because a person is a soulmate don't mean it's meant to be. Yes, this person is your soulmate, but if this person ain't healthy for you, then that means you. I like the way you move. Do. Yeah, I like the way you move. Shit, move your ass right on the fuck up out of here. Cause if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. You can't make the shit fit if it don't fit. Stay optimistic. So maybe some of y'all was focusing on like how you gonna get remix your life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of y'all was trying to remix y'all goddamn life and figure out the steps y'all needed to take to get it together. And it's like, okay, maybe you was focusing on money or whatever the case is, or maybe you been focusing on somebody that you separated from, or whatever the case was. Maybe you ended up separating from somebody because it's like maybe this person would think positive and have faith. Faith will bring you romance. So maybe somebody was in a situation with somebody and they was focused on love, and then the other person probably was focused on money. Vice versa, if the shoe fit, wet. If it's too tight, take it off. So maybe one person was actually serious about love and was trying to trust the process to see where it would go, and maybe somebody was focused on money and they really wasn't, they was like being restrictive with their energy. It's like maybe somebody was listening to their intuition and the other person wasn't. So maybe one person was more ascended than the other person was, and it's like I gotta get myself together because I got someplace to go. Shit, adjacent possibilities. Calling in your soulmate, it's like you didn't have any time to wait, or this person didn't have any time to wait. So it's like maybe you transitioning from not being organized to being organized, not focusing solely on money, to trying to stay optimistic, to basically thinking positive and having faith that it'll bring you the romance that you're looking for. It's like maybe you, instead of you looking at shit as one call away, it's like maybe you actually using your energy wisely now. So it's like maybe you had to go through an experience with somebody that you thought was your soulmate, and you had to pull your energy back from the situation because it wasn't really what you thought it was gonna be. Maybe somebody was in a situation or person, place, or thing, or whatever the case was, and somebody was being jealous of a person, place, or thing, whatever material shit. Somebody was jealous of something, so they had to release that. So maybe somebody had to look into themselves, like I said, to see what the root of the problem was. They had to trust the process. So in order for them to do that, it's like they had to stop chasing a situation and just let go of control issues. So it's like looking at adjacent possibilities. Just because you had to walk away from a situation don't mean they not gonna give you no more opportunities in life. Calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and your visualizations help bring you together. So maybe you had some work to do, and maybe the person uh that either left a situation or moved on has some work to do too. So it's like with you doing the work that you need to do and this person doing the work that they need to do, it's like it's a adjacent possibility. You don't know which door you're gonna walk through and run into this person. It's like first you gotta realize that I got to be conscious first, I got to be woke first, I gotta realize my own worth first. Honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday times together. So maybe you might be recognizing somebody when the holidays come around. Christmas coming up. We in Sagittarius right now, so maybe some birthdays coming up right now. But enjoy this bliss of holiday time together. So maybe you might be spending the holidays with somebody. Enjoy this moment. I mean, you only get one time to live life. You get what I'm saying? So live it to the fullest. You only get one time to live life. New beginnings in love, daughter romance. So maybe you had to detox some of your friends, or whatever the case was, environments, things. So maybe you had to get rid of certain habits, or maybe you had to stop talking to certain people or stop doing certain things in order to be able to have this new beginning in love. Reconciliation, someone from your past is returning to your life. So maybe somebody that you stop talking to because they done said detox your friendships, new beginning in love. So maybe you had to detox yourself from certain friendships or certain things or certain habits to have a new beginning in love. But reconciliation, someone from your past is returning to your life. So maybe somebody trying to come back from the past or whatever the case is. Words of abundance. So maybe somebody had to have some encouraging words of abundance. Shit, you have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerful, positive words. Always describe your own and your words in comic situations in loving, optimistic terms, and that is what you would attract for yourself and others. So maybe you had to go through this healing process first before you could attract anything. Let's see. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type of expectation. So, what you used to ain't what's coming to you. Retreat. It's time for you to disconnect from the world. So maybe you done been out here, done been around the world, and now, yeah, I can't find my baby. I don't know where. I don't know why. Yeah. Maybe you done been around the world and it's just like, I don't got no type. Yeah, bad bitches is the only thing that I like. So maybe somebody just like bad bitches. That's that they ain't got no type. But it's like your soul may differ from your usual type. It ain't say shit about bad bitches. It's the only thing that you like. Your soul may differ from your usual type. So those bad bitches and you ain't had no type. This new motherfucker that's coming in this new beginning, it's gonna change your whole motherfucking mindset. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna be looking past bad bitches. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like you wouldn't even refer to this person as a bitch. This person would be your wife. You get what I'm saying? You will be this person's husband. It's a difference. Like, I'd rather be called somebody wife than they bad bitch. Let's see. Allowing our inner strength to come out. So maybe you had to trust the fact that you ain't had no choice but to actually go within to see what the fuck you really wanted to do with yourself. What do you want to be? It's like we all have dreams or whatever the case is, but what it is that you really want to do. How is it that you really want to operate? Do you want to be a jealous ass motherfucker or you want to be a person that's building shit, uh being the CEO? Shit. Yeah, some of y'all had to actually stand up for yourself. So maybe y'all had to stand up to a person. You had to find the strength to stand up to a person, or you had to basically just find the strength to stand up and have the self confidence that you needed. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can have the strength to say what you got to say, but then it's like, okay, once you say what you got to say, what you gonna do then? It's like, okay, you still gotta have some type of drive about yourself, like self confidence to be able to make the next move. What you gonna do? Yeah, stay optimistic. So maybe somebody want to put their emotions to the side. Maybe somebody want to call the truth. Maybe things got out of hand. You get what I'm saying? Maybe somebody was so caught up on money and somebody was just caught up on, shit, living their best life. Ain't got time to go back and forth with you niggas. Yeah, shit, all this shit fell out. Yeah, somebody was hung up on some shit. Yeah, they said read the motherfucker. Somebody had to have the strength to face adversity. Somebody was hung up on some shit. It's like you ain't know whether you wanted to be on this spiritual journey or you didn't. It's like maybe somebody was having issues. Maybe 1 minute your baby mama let the child come in your life, and then maybe the next minute they wouldn't. It's like as soon as you try to put the effort in or whatever the case is, it's like 1 minute you want to do it, so it's like back to what? Back to life, back to reality, back to the self-confidence. You got to have the drive. So maybe drugs was an influence in the situation that made you actually realize what the downward spiral was. It's like you didn't have any type of gain from a situation long as you had like negative shit around you, bad habits or whatever the case was, people, places, things. It's like you had to go in solitude. Then one of these cards already said it was time to retreat. It's like that's why you weren't able to manifest shit. And let me put all these motherfuckers back so we can actually get one card at a time, please. Shit. Yeah, at the bottom of the day, turning dreams into reality. So maybe that was the process which you calling in your soulmate. You done went through all these adjacent possibilities and chasing things or whatever the case was. And it's like, okay, now it's time for me to call my soulmate in because it's like I'm actually trying to be on the same path with my soulmate. Yeah, maybe somebody was holding up. Maybe some toxic shit was holding somebody back. Man, self doubt, fears, laziness. Ain't that's what just was happening in the car. It was like resistance. 1 minute you want to do some shit, 1 minute you don't. So it's like being able to have that self confidence where you ain't going back and forth and shit. It's like maybe somebody opening themselves up to a wider world of knowledge. It's like if you ain't know, now you know. So it's like maybe you was in a phase that you ain't really know a lot about all the stuff that was going on. So it's like now that you awakening, it's like you done got a little notches of experiment on your well, yeah, maybe somebody was experimenting. So maybe you had to experiment with this thing we call life. Don't we all gotta experiment? So maybe you had tested out a couple of different routes and now you found a route that works instead of you got them going back and forth with yourself. It's like, okay, shit, it's either you gonna have self-doubt, fear, something toxic gonna be holding you back, or you gonna be have ideas, visions, be driven, self-confident. It's like sometimes you need a person that can actually help you goddamn move forward. All the time you ain't gonna be able to do it by yourself. Reconciliation. So the will to create, the will to succeed. So maybe you realize that you had to get rid of some people. It's like you could move forward in this situation. It's like uh you got to have the will and the energy to put into that shit to make the shit work. Cause if you just putting in all the work to make something work and the other person not, then it ain't gonna be no balance in the situation. So you ain't gonna have no choice but to keep an open mind. You don't want to keep removing people out your life, and then once you remove them, and then you want to start new beginnings in love when you ain't scared to love no more, and then somebody from your past come back, and it's just like, okay, getting on and off the motherfucking journey. Like shit, I guess because it's too hard. Somebody just said that it's too hard. So maybe it was too hard, like detoxing and changing shit that you was familiar to now it's like you gotta be able to have the will to be able to do shit. You gotta wanna do this shit. So maybe you to the point now it's like you so tired of breaking up and getting back and forth, getting back in a relationship with a motherfucker. It's like at least if I'm gonna get in a relationship, can it be healthy? It's like I keep detoxing my life from the same type of people, same type of things, same type of places. It's like I want a new beginning in love. It's like I don't want to goddamn keep goddamn having reconciliation with somebody from my past, keep returning to my life, and then I go to put work into it, and then it's like, okay, it's no justice, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Yeah, I just heard that shit. Justice at the bottom of the fucking day. So it's like maybe you trying to keep a goddamn open mind because it's like, isn't your partner supposed to be your peace? It's like you don't want no hostility and all that shit just to be able to live life. So maybe you realizing that your voice is your weapon. It's like it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Life, hope, clarity. So center of attention. So maybe you realizing what's most important, goddamn. Let's see. So maybe you had to build the strength to stand up to somebody because they was wearing a false mask. You or somebody else. If the shoe fit weird, if it's too tight, take it off. Shit. Maybe it took a lot in you to be able to stand up to this person because you know once you realize a person wearing a false mask, you already know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. Like once you already wearing a false mask, and then you call out a person that's wearing a false mask, they gonna try their damnedest to try to convince you that they a good motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Once a motherfucker already show you their true colors, please don't be a dummy to this shit. You know how that shit go. It's like once a person done showed you who they really is, accept that shit. That should even though it's easier said than done, it could be a main female. Uh it's easier said than done to build the energy up and walk away from some shit that you comfortable in. But if you had to build the strength up to stand up to a person and to let them know that they was a false person, or if this person had to do this to you, it takes a lot of self confidence to be able to do that. It takes a lot of strength to be able to do that. Especially if this person is a main female in your life. You get what I'm saying? Where you got to put your emotions to the side. To be able to make peace with somebody. You get what I'm saying? Especially in a toxic situation. Cause shit, all the time, leaving from a toxic situation in a healthy way ain't always a good option. Sometimes shit get real, motherfucking shit get real. Yeah, shit get real. It get real fucking hectic. It's like sometimes people could want to get out of situations that ain't healthy for them, and motherfuckers want to get to cutting on motherfuckers and shit, or it get real violent, or people show you how crazy they really is. That's what I just heard. Let's see. So maybe somebody realized somebody was robbing them of their peace. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't motherfucking you can forgive a person, but that don't mean you gotta deal with a person. You get what I'm saying? Especially if they robbing you of your peace. If a person come in and they robbing you of your peace, what do you have? You ain't got no peace of mind, no nothing. So what you gonna do? Yeah, what you gonna do? Let's see. Something holding you back, some toxic shit or self doubt, laziness, whatever. So maybe a toxic person want to communicate some shit to you, family room. So maybe somebody calling in their soulmate and ain't it say reconciliation. So maybe somebody, either you or somebody, uh trying to communicate with somebody from their past. So maybe this situation wasn't healthy for you, or maybe it wasn't healthy for them. Maybe you was the person that ended up getting on your spiritual journey, or vice versa. If the shoe fit, where if it's too tight, take it off. But two people trying to come together, but one person has ascended and the other person has not. So it's like every time I try to leave, something keep telling me that, telling me I need you in my life. Yeah, every time a motherfucker try to go, a motherfucker, some keep telling me that I need you in my life. Every time I try to go, some keep telling me everything gonna be all right. Official person. So maybe this was official person in your life, but shit, I don't give a fuck how official a motherfucker is. Do I gotta go to hell for fucking with you? I'm asking questions. Shit. Cause it's gonna take a lot of work. I mean, shit, it don't matter how many badges, how many motherfucking pins you have in the real motherfucking world. When it's time for true motherfucking judgment, will I have to go to hell fucking with you? Shit. I ain't finna put no motherfucking work and no effort in that if my whole life will be corrupt after I'm dead. You get what I'm saying? You can make a lot of fucked up decisions in your lifetime, but when you die, you don't want to be facing judgment and shit. And they be like, "Remember that motherfucker you was fucking with?" Yeah, we was trying to give you all these intuitive messages and shit. We was sending all flag signals, smoke signals, all kind of shit. But you ain't here. You ain't hear me. But you ain't hear me though. Yeah, you ain't hear me though. Shit, never think you too official to be motherfucking judged by the Most High. Straight the fuck up. And never put a motherfucker above the Most High. I don't give a damn how much rank they got. Nobody is more official than the source that created they motherfucking ass. Just like he put their ass here, he can take their ass the fuck on off. 8, 2, 24, 21, 22. Be mindful of what you put in your work after efforts into. I just heard. Let's see. Mature woman. So at least if you gon' goddamn deal with a motherfucker, you would rather it be a mature woman. So maybe you had to detox your friendships to be able to have this new beginning in love, but it's like maybe somebody from your past trying to come back, and it's like maybe this person from your past wasn't a bad person. So maybe you had to detox a lot of things from around you because I just heard the one that got away. So maybe the one that got away is the one that you wanted a new beginning in love with. So maybe you could be the person that's trying to reconcile with somebody, or somebody could be trying to reconcile with you. But it's like it's gonna take work. It's like I believe it when I see it. That's what I just heard. I believe it when I see it. So maybe this person, you done told this person a lot of shit. And it's like for this to be a reconciliation. So maybe you had to get rid of a lot of shit in order to try to make some new shit. So maybe you had an opportunity with this mature woman and you tried to put some effort into it, but it's like maybe somebody from your past came back and they wanted to start a new beginning. Then you realized that you had to detox your friendship. But it's like maybe you don't know what steps to take with this mature woman because I just heard treading on thin ice. So maybe you crossed this person before because then didn't it say somebody wanted to call the truth and put their emotions to the side. So maybe somebody finally want to speak out because ain't in the beginning it was like you don't ring my line no more. I don't know if you should call first or I should call first or however the fuck the shit go. But it's like a motherfucker don't know whether they should call first or you should call first or whatever the case is. So maybe that's you in this position or this other person. It's like maybe both of y'all had to remove some shit, but if this person a mature woman, this person done went through the phases of getting rid of a motherfucker. Because if they ain't with you, they had to get rid of your ass. You get what I'm saying? Maybe they ended up moving forward because they ain't had no choice. Because it's like okay, if they was putting effort into a situation and you was putting effort into a situation, and then time somebody from your past came back that you was more familiar with. So I guess you didn't have to put a lot of work into the situation with this past person because you was familiar with them. This new person, it was a little bit harder because you had to put work in. This was a mature person. They wasn't gonna play no motherfucking games with you. So it's like you had to detox a lot of shit in order to be able to get on the level to be able to stand up to this motherfucking mature person. So it's like maybe you want to use your voice now since you done actually went through the personal healing, and it's like I just heard wishing on a star. So maybe you wishing that you get this opportunity a second time around. Cause it's like maybe you don't know how to confront this person. It's like maybe you made so many different decisions that you thought that you didn't have a choice but to make. So maybe you thought you was making the best decisions in the past, but we all adults. You get what I'm saying? We all make mistakes. Shit, kids make mistakes too. But it's just the fact that is you making mistakes knowingly or unknowingly. So it's like maybe you got into a situation, went back to a situation that you thought was better because it was easier instead of putting work into a situation with a mature person and ended up losing the person that you thought was worth being with and losing the mature person too. So it was like you was forced to remove the other person that wasn't healthy for you. You was forced to want a new beginning, but having the option to reconcile with a person. But it's like if you really want it how you say you want it, you gonna have to work for this mature woman, wealthy man. So it's like you ain't gonna be able to come in just talking. You get what I'm saying? You can keep an open mind all you want. You're gonna still have to do personal healing and happiness, and it's like you're gonna have to be positive in this situation. But it's like you're not gonna be able to get this person on words alone. It's like you're gonna have to let it speak for itself. Like sometimes you can look at a person and know whether they've changed. You can look at a person and know whether they ain't doing shit with their life too. So it's like if you ever try to approach this person or vice versa, it's like they gonna be able to tell whether you changed or not. So if you really want to go after some shit, you gonna actually have to be serious about it. This time around, I just heard because if you actually on this journey like you say you is, and you doing the inner work, personal healing, and you to a point where you happy now, you trying to keep an open mind. But it's like somebody here ready to speak out and say how they feel. So maybe somebody has awakened in the situation. It's like now they to the phase. Now they want to go after what they really want, and it's probably this mature person. So maybe they feel like this mature person is the official person. It's like I keep hearing lead me to the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So maybe this person got on the journey first and inspired this person to get on their journey. You get what I'm saying? And they actually realized who the official person was, the source. You get what I'm saying? So maybe now that they realized that they was in some toxic communication. So maybe they had some toxic communication. So maybe in the past, whoever this person is that you trying to reconcile with, or vice versa, maybe it was some toxic communication, y'all last conversation. So maybe the last conversation y'all had an argument or something. And maybe it's like you trying to renew yourself or vice versa. So maybe you trying to come back and talk to this person, but it's like maybe you in a situation where some toxic shit is holding you back. You get what I'm saying? So maybe you feel like the situation you in, somebody robbing you of your peace, main female. So like I said, maybe you was in a situation with a main female, but it's like this main female you was with help you build your self-confidence to be able to stand up to her or him or however, uh because somebody was wearing a false mask. So maybe you had to go back to a situation to stand up for yourself, to be able to realize what you really wanted with someone else. Because it's like sometimes you could be with a person and they be a false person, and then they make you stand up for yourself and actually realize what your, like, they like a catalyst to a situation. So maybe this person was robbing you of your peace and they was holding you back, like toxic energy, something toxic. It's like you had self doubts, like fears or whatever the case is. So it's like maybe you in a position where you want to talk now. Maybe it was no communication before or whatever the case was, but it's like now that you done got on this spiritual journey, it's like you know who the official person is, you know who the source is, you connected to the source. So it's like now you trying to actually reach out to this mature woman or vice versa, or at least you want to, because now you done, at least if you haven't got rid of these detox your friends or places or things, it's like you won't be able to get this new beginning in love until you do. So you need to detox your friends, person, place, or thing, to have this new beginning in love, for you to be able to reconcile with someone from your past. So maybe someone from your past is returning, or maybe you returning to someone else from your past. But it's gonna take work, because this person is a mature person, like I said, and it's like they gonna have to. It's gonna take a whole lot for this person to actually believe, but at the same time, a person can look at you and tell whether you've actually grown. You get what I'm saying, or whether you the same person you always been. um like I said, maybe you ready to speak out and say how you really feel, but it's like you just waiting on the right time and trying to keep an open mind. Your soul may differ from your usual type of expectations. So maybe this person, uh maybe you can snooze if you want, but not on me, baby. Yeah. So maybe you slept on this person. Maybe you ain't thought this person fit the bill. You get what I'm saying? At first you ain't thought this person fit the bill, so that's why you ended up going back to another person, because you was comfortable with that person. You was scared to love this person. So maybe you met a mature person, and it's like this person taught you a thing or two, but you was scared to love this person because you was used to easy love. So it's like when you got in the situation where you actually had to work for the love, the shit was too hard. So it's like now that you've actually grown and experienced some shit, it's like, okay, I want that old thing back. Yeah, you want that old thing back. So it's like maybe you done grown or whatever the case is. So somebody want to reach out to somebody and make a phone call to actually tell them how they feel, but they don't really know how to do it yet. But they trying to keep an open mind and stay positive. House. So I don't know. I want to go home. Yeah, somebody was like, I want to go home. I just heard that shit. I want to go home. So I don't know. Somebody want to go home, or somebody want to come home, or whatever the case is. So hopefully you like the video. If you like the video, please like the video. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please do. Uh, I'm out, y'all.